I was never going to have a morning routine. Morning routines make you do this crazy thing called getting up early, which basically meant they weren't for me. I am not a morning person. If I have to take somebody to the airport early in the morning, I would much rather stay up all night than make myself go to bed early and get up early. So whenever I would see something about how this new morning routine was supposed to revolutionize your life, I would politely ignore it. Until I became a mom. Then I grew really frustrated. No matter what I did, there never seemed to be enough hours in the day to get everything done and still have a little bit of time for myself in the evenings. I tried reorganizing my daily routine, since that was something I could do without having to change my sleeping habits. But it didn't matter how hard I worked during the day, there was never enough time to get everything done that I felt like I needed to do. Finally, after a while, and by a while I mean over 2 years into being a mom, I decided to give this whole morning routine thing a try and see if maybe that was the answer I had been looking for. And I couldn't believe how much it changed my life. All of a sudden, I had more time in my day. I started getting things done that had been slipping to the bottom of my list. And I was awake and ready and happy to see my girls when they woke up in the morning. So even if you are naturally a night owl like I am, stick around because in this video, I am going to show you how to create a morning routine that will fit your schedule and your life. I'm Kassy with MakingTimeForGiggles.com, and I make videos all about making mom life simple. If that sounds like something you would like to see more of, hit subscribe down below and hit the bell next to it to be notified when the next one comes out. Once I created a morning routine, I noticed 4 areas that my life improved. Number 1, it put me in a better mood for my family. Maybe this won't help everyone, but since I'm not naturally a morning person, waking up doesn't make me happy. So before I had my morning routine, when I was catching every moment of sleep that I possibly could, my girls would wake me up and I wouldn't be in the best mood. Now that I get up earlier, I'm able to get the whole waking up out of the way before I see my kids, and I'm much happier to see them when they do wake up in the morning. The second thing that I love about having a morning routine is it allows me to get some things done. Even if all you do during your morning routine is have a little time for yourself and read a book, that is still getting something done that will improve your life and make you happier. But if you're more of a type A personality like I am with a really long to-do list, it will give you a jump start on that to-do list every day, and you'll be able to check something off first thing in the morning. The third way having a morning routine has improved my quality of life is it makes me more productive. Even on the days when I do sleep a little longer and I don't get through the entire morning routine, just getting myself dressed and making my bed sets the whole day up for being more productive than if I sleep longer. Checking something off your list, even if it's a small thing, sets up your body and your mind to continue doing productive things throughout the day. And the fourth positive thing that has happened since I created a morning routine is that I get some alone time since I'm with the kids all throughout the day. I kind of have a strange personality type. I'm not overly extroverted or overly introverted. And depending on the day, if I take the Myers-Briggs test, I can go back and forth whether I'm an extrovert or an introvert. But even for somebody like me who is not overly introverted, having just a little bit of alone time where I'm not having to answer any questions or listen to anyone else talk for the first part of the day is wonderful. Especially as a mom of 2 little girls, I love having just a little bit of quiet time before all the talking begins. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to create your own morning routine that fits with your life and your schedule. So if you want to, go ahead and pause the video, grab a notebook and a pen, or I will link down below a template that you can print off and create your morning routine from that. All right, let's dig into the exact steps that I took to create my morning routine that I use every day. Well, almost every day. I do still sleep in sometimes. Number 1, make a list. Write down all those things that you would love to get done before your kids get up in the morning. You don't need to think practical at this point. Just make a list of all of the things that would make you really happy to get done. When I was creating my list, I specifically chose things that were difficult or impossible to do once the girls got up in the morning. Some things that you may want to put on your list are working. If you work from home or you have a side hustle, you may want to get some of that done before your kids get up and it's a lot harder to concentrate on work. Read a book. If you love to read and you rarely take time to read anything for yourself, your morning routine can be a great time to do that. If your kids are really little and it is hard to exercise with them, the morning can also be a great time to get some exercising in, and it's nice to be able to get cleaned up after working out without worrying about what your kids are getting into. Getting dressed is a great thing to put on your list even if you aren't working out or showering. At this point, Russ and I typically work out in the evenings together, but I still make myself get dressed every morning, and it just puts me in a mindset for being more productive during the day. Another thing I recommend everyone do in their morning routine is make the bed. Your room will feel so much cleaner, and you will, again, feel like you are accomplishing something, even if it's something small. The second thing you want to do when creating your morning routine is time each activity. So for each activity that you put down on your wish list, write down next to it how much time it would take you to get this done. So for example, if you wanted to get exercising done, you may put down 30 minutes next to that. And if you want to shower after you exercise, you may put down 15 to 20 minutes after that. So write down however long you think that it would take you to do each item. Just remember to be generous with this step, because if you aren't a morning person like I am, you're not going to be moving quickly. So don't put down that it's only going to take you 10 minutes to shower if you know it takes you 25 to 30 minutes to shower in the morning. You want this to be a realistic morning routine that you'll be able to stick with for a long time instead of something that you dread. And that leads me to number 3, build in a buffer. If it takes you a couple minutes just to wake up in the morning like it does me, write that down and write down a time next to that. Unless you're the type of person that jumps out of bed every morning ready to go, you want to make sure you have plenty of time to get everything done during your morning routine without feeling rushed or stressed. This is supposed to be a nice time for you as a mom, not something that you dread as you go to bed each evening. So when I was creating my list, I wanted to make sure I had a couple minutes to wake up. And when I initially created my morning routine, I was also working out in the mornings. My kids were a lot littler, and it was harder to work out when they were up during the day. But if you work out, you know that it takes you a few minutes to put on your workout clothes, start the workout video, get your water, and do all of those things. So I put in 10 minutes workout prep into my workout routine as well to make sure that I could get it all done and I wasn't cramming too many things into my morning routine. Number 4, set your priorities. Now is where you're going to start thinking a little bit more practically about your list. I want you to take your wish list and put it in order from the things that you want to do most in the morning to the things that you want or need to do least. The key is to think simple here. If you could just do one thing in the mornings, what would it be? And put that at the top of your list. Continue down your entire list with this idea. When you're doing this prioritization though, make sure you are doing things that you really want to do. Don't put things down on the list because everyone else says you should do it. If you really don't want to exercise in the morning, writing it down on your morning routine is not going to make you feel motivated to get up earlier and enjoy that quiet time in the morning. But if it would make you a really happy and relaxed parent to read a good book for a few minutes before your kids get up, that is what you should do instead. Think about the things that will make you feel happy and fulfilled as a person before you give a lot of yourself as a parent throughout the day. The biggest thing to remember is that your morning routine should motivate you to wake up earlier because you're excited to do it. The 5th thing you want to do is organize your list. Aside from the first item or two, your list may not have a lot of flow in it. So now is the time to go through and organize your list in a logical manner. For example, you want to make sure you have waking up at the top of your list if you need some additional time to do that. Or you may want to have your workout prep time before you have your workout time. You also wouldn't want to shower before you work out. Just make sure your routine would make sense if you were to follow it from start to finish. Number 6, set your wake up time. The way that I set my wake up time is I look at when my kids wake up and I work backwards from there. My girls usually wake up between 7 and 7:30, but to make sure that I can get everything done that I want to in my morning routine, I plan for them to wake up at 7. And if they happen to sleep in until 7:30, guess who just got a bonus 30 minutes in their morning routine? So you want to plan for the earliest that your kids would wake up instead of planning for the longest that you hope that they sleep in. Now you want to look at your highest priority items and your need to happen items like waking up or changing into workout clothes and add up how much time all of that is going to take. I have about 2 hours worth of things that I would like to get done in my mornings. So if I plan for my girls to wake up at 7, that brings me to 5 a.m., as painful as that may be. Now, here's the thing. You do not have to do all of those things in your morning routine. If you would have to wake up at 5 a.m. to get everything done in your routine, and that just does not seem fun or possible for you to get up that early, cut some things out of your routine. Don't set yourself up for failure by setting a wake up time that you know is way too early and you won't end up getting up for. So cut some things out until your wake up time could be 6 or 6:30 or whatever time seems doable for you. Another tip for getting up early if you're not naturally a morning person is getting up when your spouse gets up. So Ross happens to get up pretty early for work, so it is easiest if I wake up at the time that he is waking up. If I wait until after he has left, it is so much easier to go back to sleep. So if your spouse gets up early, even if it's a little bit earlier than you may have wanted to get up, it will be much easier for you to wake up if there is somebody else waking up at the same time. And there are a lot of mornings where one or both of us would really like to sleep in. Like I said, neither of us are morning people, but when both of our alarms are going off, it's a lot harder to sleep through that than if just one of us is waking up and trying not to wake the other person up. Number 7, have everything ready the night before. The best laid plans will probably not happen if you do not have everything ready. And this is especially true when it comes to getting up early when you are not a morning person. So before I go to sleep, I always have next to my bed my Bible and my highlighters so I can do some devotional time before I get going with my day. I have some water ready to start drinking first thing in the morning. And I also have my laptop and anything else that I need for work ready to go so that I can dig in and get started as soon as I've had my devotional time. What you need to have ready to go for your morning routine may be completely different than what I need, but having everything ready to go will keep you motivated to get up and get started even when you are tired and would love to keep sleeping. And the 8th thing you need to do is test it out. Try it out for a couple weeks before you decide to make any changes. Starting any new habit can be a challenge, so give yourself time to adjust before you throw the whole thing out and decide that it doesn't work for you. Make some notes each morning. Write down if you gave yourself enough time to do each task. Write down how you did with getting up early and if you can think of anything that would make that easier for you. Write down if you felt really great and feel like you could get up earlier to get even more things done. And if you wrote something down on your routine because you thought you might enjoy it or you felt like you should and it really isn't working for you, try swapping it out with something else on your wish list morning routine that might be more enjoyable for you to do first thing in the morning. And remember that the whole point of the morning routine is to make you a more happy and productive mom during the day. So if getting up early and taking a relaxing bubble bath for an hour every morning helps you do that, go for it. Nobody says that you have to spend your morning routine doing something specific. Do whatever will help you be the best mom that you can be and simplify your life as much as possible. Check out the blog post that I will link down below if you want some more ideas for things to put into your morning routine. Now, if you still aren't sure how you are going to start waking up earlier, here are a couple tips to get you started. Number 1, go to bed earlier. This is the hardest one for me to do as a natural night owl, but when I go to bed earlier, it's a lot easier to get up earlier. Number 2, get up with your first alarm. I know everyone says that you should do this, and again, this is still a hard one for me, but if you can force yourself to get up when your first alarm goes off instead of snoozing it, it is much easier to get up and get started. If you tend to snooze your alarm a lot, put it across the room so that you have to get up out of bed to turn it off. And that leads me to number 3, get out of bed. When I first started my morning routine, I used to just prop myself up, pry my eyes open, and start trying to read, which would usually just lead to me falling asleep in an upright position. But when I started getting up, walking over to Miss Claire's room and closing her door all the way. She likes to sleep with her door cracked open, but we don't want the lights to wake her up when we get up in the morning, so we'll just close her door all the way then. But when I get up and do that myself, instead of just letting Ross do it on his way down the stairs, I find it much easier to stay awake and to do my morning routine. It's just like we all learned in science class. Bodies in motion tend to remain in motion, and bodies at rest tend to remain at rest. Once you put your feet on the ground, it's a lot easier to stay awake. Number 4, brush your teeth. While your feet are on the ground, walk yourself to the bathroom and brush your teeth. If you use any kind of minty toothpaste, it will wake up your brain. I also found that it makes it easier to go to sleep at night if I brush my teeth as I'm putting the kids to bed instead of waiting until right before I go to bed, because the mint really seems to wake me up. Number 5, start drinking water right away. Not only is it good for your body and you will continue to drink it more later in the day, but it will also help you start waking up. Since I'm already in the bathroom brushing my teeth first thing in the morning, I will fill up my glass with water and start drinking it. I drink way more water on the days when I wake up early and start drinking right away than on the days that I sleep in. And the last tip for helping you get up early is to find an accountability buddy. Sometimes you, yourself, and your alarm clock just aren't enough to get you out of bed at 5 a.m. Even if you know your 11 a.m. self will thank you for it. And that's when an accountability buddy can come in really handy. Find another mom or a friend or a cousin or a sister or anyone else who would also like to start a morning routine, and text each other in the morning to keep each other accountable. When I worked outside the home full time, I found the only way that I could get my workout done was first thing in the morning, since no one ever wants to just hang out at 5 a.m. and nothing gets scheduled over that time. But it was really hard for me to wake up and stay committed at 5 a.m. each morning. So I enlisted my mom to be my accountability buddy, and she would get up with me at 5 a.m. and go to the gym with me. It made a huge difference knowing that someone else would be there waiting for me when I got there, and someone else was counting on me to be there for them. So if you're getting up early to work on a side hustle or a business, find an accountability buddy who also wants the same thing and has the same goals in life. If you're getting up early to get in shape, see if you can find another mom who wants the same thing. It really can help if your accountability buddy has the same goals that you do, and you can encourage each other and keep each other accountable. I would love to hear what you are most excited to do during your morning routine. Leave a comment down below and let me know. If you are interested in creating a daily routine that will also help you get more accomplished with less stress, you can also check out this video here for more information on that. I'm Kassy with MakingTimeForGiggles.com. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful so more people can find it. And if you would like to see more videos about simplifying mom life, hit subscribe down below and hit the bell next to it to be notified when the next one comes out. I'll see you on the next one.